Hello, welcome back. Today in this video, we're going to cover configuration for the sole proprietorship business type. So we'll just get right to it. So in sole proprietorship, there is not really a lot for you to configure because in sole proprietorship, you're probably alone. You're working alone in your company. So areas such as departments have already been configured for you, roles have already been configured for you as well, permissions have already been configured for you. And in the area for users, you might decide maybe you have another employee and you can add the user here. But because it's sole proprietorship, it's not really that important to actually configure for yourself another user. And let me go on a divergent a little here. For users, the reason why most of the time it's important in the other business types is because that other user is going to assist you in approvals. And the approval configuration is usually done with another person in mind, so that whenever you create POs and you run them through the approval engine, there is someone else who can assist with approvals, either rejecting or approving the request that has been made. But because we are all alone in sole proprietorship, you can be the one that creates the POs and you can be the one that approves the POs for yourself, as well as the invoices and the payments. So in this case, we are really not going to configure users. We are just going to use ourselves as the people who are creating the PR and the one also approving the PR, PO, invoice, and payments. In this area, the only thing that is really important for configuration is the suppliers, because you need to have suppliers in the system who you're going to pick from when you are creating your PO. We will also look at the approval workflow and see how the approval workflow looks for the sole proprietorship. And as we continue with the videos and create other videos for partnership and company business types, you will see that there's a difference in the approval workflow. So we'll get right to it and add suppliers into a system who we can pick from when we are creating our PRs. So when you come to the supplier section, you can either create a supplier by adding a supplier one by one, or you can be able to import a list of suppliers that you already have in your Excel sheet. We're going to do both just for the sake of this video. So we can create vendor flow. Once you create the supplier, you're going to receive a small pop-up that will show you that the supplier has been created. And right here we have our supplier. The other option is creating or adding suppliers through the Excel file. You just click on choose file. I already have an Excel sheet that I created. You click on that, then you can import your suppliers. For me, 9 suppliers have been imported. One failed because I had already added it, and you can see it actually shows you if you've already added this supply, it will tell you that supply already exists in the system, so it won't add that supply for you. This assists users from having duplicates of suppliers. And just like that, we have all the suppliers that we actually need inside of the system. Now, the next parts I'll show you are the different buttons that we have. We have the status area, which shows you whether supply is active or not active. And this is because sometimes you can decide to deactivate a supplier. Maybe they've stopped working, or maybe something is going on and you've decided that this supply is no longer matching your values. We have the more button here. You can be able to see the whole overview of your suppliers. So you can be able to see their category, you can be able to see their location. The supply history section usually shows you what they have supplied for you before. The contacts, of course, will show you their contacts, including their email and their phone number. After that, we have the view button. In the view button, you can be able to edit suppliers or deactivate suppliers. It also helps you to see, the supplier information in just one page. You can be able to see their number, how you can contact them via email. You can be able to see their address, and you can be able to see when these suppliers were created or added into the system. And if you update them, you'll be able to see them there. In this area as well, or rather in this page, you can also be able to see the supplier portal users. The supplier portal users is the area where you create the portal user for the supplier login. So in Tenderflow, we have the internal system, and we also have an external system that allows suppliers to sign in and create invoices for themselves. Those invoices, once created from the supplier side, you'll be able to see them in the internal system for your company. I'll show you in just a little moment how to create those portal users. We can go back and check the other buttons that we have. The other buttons we have in this same area are of course, the portal user button, the activate button, and the delete button. You cannot be able to delete the suppliers once you create a portal user for them. The only thing you'll be able to do now is deactivate them, and that's important, especially for auditing. You want to know which suppliers you had before, maybe even know why you deactivated them in the first place, and that will help you to avoid making mistakes and taking back those suppliers into your work. So that's why we don't really push for deleting once you create a portal user or once that supplier has a PO that has been sent to them. So that's it for that part. We can go to creating portal users, and I can be able to show you the supplier side and how it looks like and how it works from this point. We will cover the supplier login side in detail in a later video. So this is just to show you how you can create your portal users. So we will be using Horizon Engineering Limited as our example today. You click on portal users, and then you just add the user email. We are going to use generated emails from a temp mail area website rather. Once you create the user, the status will stay as pending until that supplier goes to their email and creates a password for themselves. Once the password is created, the status will turn to active. So for now, it's showing pending setup. These buttons, resend and deactivate, you can deactivate the supplier portal user. Resend is for when maybe the link has expired and the supplier requests that you resend the link for them so that they can be able to sign in to the portal. As you can see, an email has been shared to the supplier, and all they need to do is just click to set up their password, and they can set up their password and then sign in to the system. Once the password is created, you can use it to sign in. We can just copy that email one more time. And now you can see the supplier portal side. They have the purchase order area where they're able to see the purchase orders once they are sent to them. They'll be able to see also the invoices if you create invoices for them, and they'll also be able to create invoices in the invoices section. In the payments area, they can be able to follow up with their payments and see whether their payments have already been made. In the guide area, they have a inbuilt user guide just in case they're confused about what's happening within the supplier portal site. They also have their own inbuilt AI assistant that focuses mainly on what they're supposed to do when they're inside the supplier portal. Of course, they also have the dark mode just in case the light mode is a bit too much for their eyes, and they can be able to log out as well. So that's it for the supplier section. The other area I want us to look at, we're just going to brush over it because we don't need to configure, is the approval workflow for the sole proprietorship. So for the sole proprietorship, you can see that the approval workflow has already been created for you. This system usually uses levels to ensure that your POs are approved correctly and approved according to the level of each user. So you can create the levels for procurement, and another level for finance, and another level for management. But in this case, because it's a sole proprietorship, we've already by default created an approval workflow for you. All you need to do is come inside, create your purchase requisition, and you will be able to approve it by yourself because you're all alone in a sole proprietorship. We will create the approval workflow in detail in the partnership and company section so that you can be able to understand what the levels are. You can be able to see how to add users according to the amount of money they're supposed to be allowed to approve, just like in a normal company. But for sole proprietorship, everything is created for you. We can view the details to look at how it looks like. You have the workflow level. This is where I'm talking about levels. You can give the level a name, decide the level order. Is it the first level? First level means if the PO is sent to a particular approver and they're level one, what minimum amount and maximum amount are they supposed to approve? And you can also be able to choose the role that that user has, and all this the role that they have is going to be impacted by how you create your users. And you'll be able to see that in a short while. But right now, I'm just giving you a summary of what to expect. So that's basically it for configuration for the sole proprietorship. In the next video, we are going to cover partnership, and we're going to cover companies. And then after that, we can be able to create POs, approve them in as different business types, and see how they differ. So thank you for your time. See you in the next one.